are you?
Greetings, everyone. What's up? This is Deborah Watts, and we are live. This is so exciting. I have with me here Abdiel Jacobsen. So, you want to say what's up?
What's up?
Okay, so can we have people chat, type in the chat box to say that you can hear us fine before we move forward? Just want to make sure we're good. And I'm going to hit refresh. Okay, perfect. And I'm not seeing anyone comment just yet, but we're just going to go ahead and get started. And please comment if you can't hear us. Okay. So I'm so honored that you can join me here today, Abdiel. It's a treat. I always enjoy talking with you. So let's just get started. Tell us a bit about yourself, where you work out of, what you do, what your mission is.
I'm a dancer. I've been dancing my whole life. But I didn't start training until I was 15 years old was when I took my first formal class. And since then, I've been dancing ever since. And I currently perform. I'm a principal dancer with the Martha Graham Dance Company. It's modern contemporary dance. And I also do ballroom, standard, smooth, and also Latin and rhythm. And and I teach and travel all over the world sharing the beautiful gift of dance and expression through movement.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
And I know you've been making a great impact with your work. What are some of the things that you've done that you really feel, I guess, the proudest of that have made an impact on others?
There's so many different ways. I think each way of sharing our gifts are just equally as impactful. And what I mean in what ways is, for example, performance. When I'm performing and on stage, I always think, although I'm being, watched and people are watching, I question, well, how do people benefit from seeing that? Well, they are able to be inspired and also see the beauty of the body and what it can do, and the gift and ability that's really in all of us to really tap into our physical selves and to make explorations and discoveries about who we are as people through our bodies. So it's a very somatic way of gaining information about not only yourself, but also the people around you and also the world, our environment. Our bodies hold and store lots of memories, lots of feelings, and for us to understand them more, we have to personally dig in deeper to our literal bodies. And so as a performer, that's what we do. We train constantly in this task and mission to, hopefully inspire people, if not to do it themselves, to somehow open a new perspective in their mind and psychology of ourselves as individuals and as a worldwide family. Because no matter what, dance is always and always has been and always will be a universal language. And I think as a performer traveling all over the world, you really see that, because maybe you don't speak the language of that country, but they react in a way that everyone does when we perform, because the feelings that we express or the subjects we talk about are expressing the human condition, and the human condition breaks barriers beyond gender, beyond sexuality, beyond race, beyond ethnicity, beyond social status. And so that's what the essence and the core of dance, and as dance in the sense of what I do, it is And so there's that. And then there's also teaching. And then I feel like teaching is in its own way, it's really it's a direct way of helping others directly tap into their own understanding of themselves, and it's fulfilling in its own way because you really see people grow, and you can see how dance can literally make people change about how they feel about themselves, gain confidence, gain strength, literal strength. They get stronger, and all of these changes their psychology of themselves, that in a way that becomes empowering. And so in that sense, dance has been really fulfilling and an amazing and humbling experience, is to see how when people really dedicate time and energy to their physical well-being and also growth, they become so much more empowered and more intelligent about the body and what it means to exist in a body with our mind. So that's really amazing. And then I would say the last thing would be like choreography. And choreography is when now we get into composition. And I've been choreographing for many years, and choreography is a vehicle for expressing the body, because now I get to actually create and speak my personal perspective, feelings based on of different ideas that we face and challenges that we face as humans. And so I've really enjoyed being able to create and speak and communicate my own voice through my own choreography. So that's it.
Wow, loaded. Oh my goodness, that is rich. So what I got from you was your performances themselves and how people react to them, and then also your teaching and how you can help people connect with themselves, as well as your choreography and how you can express concerns and bring things to light and raise awareness. Is that a fair synopsis of what you were saying?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. So can you share with us a fun fact about yourself that maybe most people don't know?
A fun fact about myself. Well, I like to knit.
Okay.
Like, before I did knitting, everyone would be like, "Well, what's your like favorite hobby?" I'm like, "Dancing." Like, but that's your job. I'm like, I know. I'm actually one of the few people that really like my job is what I really enjoy doing. It's like all I do. But recently, a couple years ago, I discovered knitting from my aunt, and it's been such a wonderful practice and hobby that I think is very meditative and calming and peaceful. And I like to create things, and I like to be creative. And so knitting allows me to do that. And it's also very challenging. It takes a lot of focus, and it's so intricate. And I think patience is something in our generation or current world scene right now that isn't practiced enough, because we're so used to just being in a fast pace, or I should say being within a metropolitan area in a city. And maybe I should make that specific. Living in New York City, where people aren't patient enough. So knitting teaches me those skills, and I really enjoy it.
That's awesome. Okay. That's cool. All right. That's awesome. I like that. So, oh, this is a good one. So, whose personas influence you? Like, personality, character. They could be real or fictional, but fictitious, I should say. But which personas really have influenced you, both in your work and in your personal, or either?
There's many, but I will talk more about just one for time's sake. I will talk about Martha Graham, which is the company I dance for. And Martha Graham, for those who don't know, is known as the mother of modern dance, and she started her company in 1926, in a time where classical ballet was the predominant style of her time, and she revolutionized the world scene of dance by saying, no, that's not how I want to express myself, and I have something unique and deeper to say about my place as a woman and in the world. And one of the major philosophies, I mean, Martha Graham was so much more than just a choreographer. She was a philosopher, and she was just a poet, and she was did costumes, she did everything. She collaborated with so many amazing composers. She was a genius. But one of the major philosophies she taught that has always stuck with me ever since I discovered it, and I also use when I in my own work and my teachings, is that because there's only one of you that exists in all time, because of that one fact, that there is not anyone else in this world that is you are the only one that exists that is you in our world. So because of that, you are innately unique, and if you let go of that, then the world will never have had that unique sense of you. And so because of that, it's our responsibility to honor who we are as unique individuals and share our gifts with the world. And especially as artists, we come to it more consciously, but it's really within everyone. And it's so important for us, to realize that. And if we really tap into our unique selves and follow the urges that motivate us, we can really become so influential and empowering to so many people and contribute so much to the world, because we're honoring what we can give, which again is unique. It's the only one that will exist in the world ever. So I really that has always motivated me to be like, wow, why should I get up every day and do what I do? Because there's no one else in the world that's going to do it. Because I'm the only one that can express who I am.
Yeah.
And that has value to the world.
Yeah, so basically be true to yourself, be authentic, because otherwise the world misses out on something precious. Wow, yeah, I totally resonate with that. So what made you choose dance as a medium?
Well, dance chose me. And I say that because it's true. I think for people I'm not saying I'm a genius, but I will say that I do tap into my genius.
Yes.
And tapping into that means that I accept what is already inherent and innate in me.
Yes.
Movement has always been inherent and innate in me. I never had to necessarily learn how to express. I never did have to learn how to express myself through movement. It has always been there since I was a baby. And I mean, it's in my family. It's in my blood. It's my ancestors. Coming from Côte d'Ivoire, the Ivory Coast, West Africa, where I was born, in Abidjan, where my mom is from. The tribe that I'm from is Bete, and Bete from Dalwar, and they are known throughout all of Africa to be one of the best dancers. They're just known for this. It's in our blood. And I do believe in that, so it is something, it's a memory, as Martha Graham, it's a blood memory, that's passed on through generation and generation. So this gift that I have is something that is not necessarily my own. It has been something that has been given to me. So I say that I didn't choose dance. It chose me, and I decided to receive it, and to honor my gift. And so does that answer the question?
Absolutely. That's beautiful.
So you said, I think, something else, and I kind of went a little.
No. I think no, it's beautiful. I love the way you express that, and I think you've told me that before. But if you have, this is feels like I'm hearing it for the first time. So that's beautiful. I love the way you express that. And I mean, watching you dance and talking with you about your influences, I am always just so inspired. You are truly a light bearer for exactly what it is that we're trying to do, which is just to, as you said, just express what the genius that's already in there, tapping into it. Um,
Yeah. And I think
so,
that's important. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
no, go ahead.
It just made me think like it's tapping into it, and so is the first is recognizing, realizing that this is something that's been given to you, and it's just like a gift. You know, when someone gives you a gift, you don't be like, oh, well, I don't like that, and you just toss it to the side, and you're like, you take what is given to you, and you use it, and you honor it by ingesting it and receiving what has been given to you. And I think the next step is when you realize what is authentically you. You have to train now. You have to train to refine. You have to refine what has been given to you and refine it and refine it and refine it. So, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you're so talented. And I'm like, well, that's good. But then what? Because you can be talented, but that doesn't mean you're going to be successful, or that doesn't mean that you're going to be a hard worker. You know, talent is one thing, but then you have to go beyond your talent and you have to be dedicated. You have to be a hard worker. You have to have perseverance. You have to refine constantly what is given to you. Otherwise, it just starts to die and starts to fade. And so I think it's really important, I think, for people to understand, and especially as a dancer, which is why it's such a beautiful thing to me. Because the moment you stop, it's gone. Like you can't. Your body just will just like, okay, well, you haven't practiced in, I don't know, 2 weeks, and like you literally immediately you start to lose certain abilities with what you can do. So it is a constant effort that is tiresome. And sometimes I tell people I literally have died before. It can be so exhausting, but at the end of your death, you're reborn. You're literally rebirth this new strength and knowledge about what you can do, and it just like pushes. It's constantly rejuvenating your own self, your own authentic self, and I think that's what's so beautiful about life is that we can die, we will fail, we are imperfect. So we have to learn how to constantly renew ourselves, and I think that's the dignity of life and being a human, is that there is death, there is failure, there is birth, there is rebirth. We're constantly in the state of renewal of ourselves, and it's just a beautiful thing. And I think if we embrace it through our natural gifts, it becomes so much more. You just enjoy it. You enjoy the cycle so much more. That's it.
I know, no, that's fine. No, you're fine, because that's totally what I really try to share is the message of embracing your inner essence, because it's already there. You know, you can't. It's not going away, but we tend to resist it because it doesn't fit into whatever norms or constructs have been designed for us. And so it's really important to just embrace it, like you're saying. Just accepting it is just so powerful in moving through whatever challenges you face. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. So I guess in a nutshell, um, what would you like for our audience to take away from this today? And where can we find out more about you and your current projects? What are your current projects, and where can we find out more?
Um, I have several, but one that I think is really interesting is I'm specifically working on more of like kind of like a social political statement, even though or a viewpoint of a ballroom dance, and not that I necessarily meant to, but it kind of just became like that. So basically, I'm working on a project. It's called A Walk in My Heels, and you can go to that website. It's awalkinmyheels.com, and it's a blog and also, you know, website of basically my experience, um, walking in heels and dancing in heels. And you're like, well, what is that about? Well, in ballroom dance, traditionally, men wear flat shoes and women wear high heels. And so, long story short, one day, like, my student said to me, I was teaching her how to dance in heels, do a step, but she was in heels and I was just in my sneakers. And she was like, you should try dancing in heels. And I was like, and I just like, I don't know why in that moment it just hit me, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so weird. And I really just started being more conscious about my spaces and like the teacher student relationship and men and women relationship and gender just in general and ballroom. And I was like, wow, like we really constrain women to express themselves in a very specific way by putting them in high heels. And we have no idea what that feels like. And as teachers, we should be able to we should have experienced what we are teaching so that we can teach it better. And I was like, I need to learn how to dance in heels if I'm going to be teaching women how to dance in heels. So basically, I just started doing that, and I blogged about it and shared my experiences because I thought it was something that was important because no one does it. Men in ballroom dance, they don't learn or train how to dance in high heels, and we predominantly teach women because they're usually single ladies, so the male partner will dance. So that's what I did, and then it became this big project, and I was like, wow, this is a very vulnerable apparatus to be training and dancing in. And I was like, wow, I was tapping into the psychology of what that means as a woman, being put in these vulnerable positions, and then also being saying that you have to be a follower. And then it just like started like, how are we really teaching men and women to relate to each other in dance?
Wow.
And why aren't we empowering each other more? Why are we separating and also disempowering, whatever the word.
Dictating how it has to be.
And then it was like, wow, this is an issue with me. This is not okay with me because this is not what dance means to me, and I never saw it that way. And so basically, it's it's been about 3.5 years that this project has gone on, and my dance partner Kelsey Burns, who's my ballroom Latin dance partner, we've worked together on creating a piece of choreography, and it's about 15 minutes long, and both of us are in high heels, and it has nothing to do with us being me trying to be a woman or her trying to be a man. It's us trying to be beings, just trying to be people, but communicating in the same through the same pole or the same thread or the same apparatus, so that we can become more symbiotic and have a more mutual connection. So that's what it's about, and I think it's a great project, and I've got a lot of great response, and people are like, wow, I never thought of partner dancing that way. And we also switched leading and follow. So traditionally, man is the leader, woman is the follower. And we're like, no, we should, in life, no matter if you're a man or a woman, you have to learn how to lead, and you have to learn how to follow. You have to learn how to do both. So if dance is really truly supporting our experience in life as people, then we should be reflecting it in our practice. So we are in the piece, me and Kelsey, she leads me, and I will follow her as well. So we're discovering new ways to basically strengthen our connection as people and become more symbiotic, become more one with each other than being so separated from the way society tells us we have to be as male and female.
Okay. Wow. That is awesome. So you said it is a walkinmyheels.com. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you want to see more about the other projects that I'm doing with Kelsey, you can go to our own website, which is kelseyandabdiel.com. So the blog is specifically about the walk in my heels is a walkinmyheels.com, and then our own website, which has all of our projects going on, not just that one, is Kelsey, Kelsey, and Abdiel, Abdiel.com.
Okay. All right. I got to check that out because I don't think I've seen that particular one. So that is awesome. Thank you. Any last takeaways for everyone here?
Um, that you're incredible, and I'm so happy that this has started. And I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. And I really hope people will take an active role and engagement in this project, because I think it's just wonderful that we can, connect with each other and use like social media as a tool to really have like, um, thoughtful and deep conversation. So I'm really excited. I'm just really excited that this is happening, and I just encourage people to participate.
You and I both. I am so pumped because we've been talking and talking and talking about these topics between us, and now it's awesome to have this platform to be able to expand the conversation and bring in even more diversity into the dialogue about authenticity and about the things that really matter to us, and where we put our priorities and where we put our values as opposed to where we're told to put them. So I really love this, and you are definitely like, for me, an icon of authentic impact and really allowing your body literally and your body of work to kind of signal or to put out that light, to put out that message, to put out your essence. And you do it so well. So I'm so honored that you took 30 minutes out of your schedule today to talk with us and to share your wisdom and your insights. And I really enjoyed it. And even though I've heard some of the stories, I actually got more today than I knew before. So I'm really, really honored that you took this time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, wow. Yeah. Um, so this is my first time doing a Facebook Live interview, so I'm still not 100% sure that I'm doing this right. I'm not seeing any comments, but that doesn't mean that people aren't commenting. It just means that I may be looking in the wrong window. But what I will do is I will post this as well as the websites that you mentioned on right underneath this, so everyone can check it out, and you can also let your friends know that it's up so they can check it out if they missed it. It's early over here in Arizona, so I'm sure some people might still be sleeping.
I would be.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, and then you're in the challenge, right? You're
Yes.
actually inside. So Abdiel and I would love to invite you to join us in the challenge. It's officially starting on Monday, but you can join anytime up through April 10th, which is when it will end. And just daily exercises, 10 to 15 minutes a day, or you could just do it all in the weekend. And I'll be asking you questions for you to answer about what's most important to you and what makes you tick. And we'll have a lot of fun doing that together, and Abdul will be there. So we look forward to it. And thank you again so much for taking your time out. And I'm going to honor it. We're right at 30 minutes. So we will be in touch. And I look forward to seeing you on the group on Monday.
Yes, me too. Me too. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you. Much love to you. Mwah.